Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 63.
This morning we got up very early here at Caribbean Beach because we do have the Taste of the Magic Kingdom tour today. Now last night was a really rough night for me because I ended up getting food poisoning. If you remember, we stopped at Shake Shack, so one of the only times we eat off property this year, and I managed to get sick from it. So it was very difficult to wake up. Robert had to be up even earlier than I did because he had a special project he was working on. So I slept in just a little bit to see how I was feeling and if I could make it to the tour.
Now the project that I was working on is that conference that we've referenced a couple times already over at Coronado Springs. We needed some video clips, and since I'm the closest one to Coronado Springs, everyone else is around the country, figured it was probably best to go over there and shoot the video myself. So I had planned to get up early this morning and drive over there, shoot those video clips, and then drive over to Magic Kingdom. The plan was for us to go together, but when Alyssa said she wasn't feeling well, we decided that I would go ahead and go and she would stay at the hotel to try and decide, does she want to go for the tour, does she not? Because online the tour did say it's non-refundable, so we're trying to decide, is it worth it to go even though you don't feel well? So we're gonna just give it a little time while I go and shoot that video for her to figure that out.
I did end up getting up and getting ready to go because, as he mentioned, this is non-refundable. They said no cancellations whatsoever, and I didn't want to miss out on this, so even if I don't eat anything, at least I can be there to take pictures and document the whole thing so we can share about this experience because it is brand new and it's supposed to be really cool. There's no information about it really, so we wanted to share that with other people. So I made my way over to Magic Kingdom. Wasn't feeling great, but feeling much better than I was last night. And of course they had to ask me about the food allergy that I had mentioned. I can't have any food coloring. So they explained to me what I could and couldn't have throughout the tour just so I would know ahead of time. And they did say they would let me know through each stop and just remind me so I didn't accidentally eat something I wasn't supposed to. And through talking to them, I just mentioned, it's not that big of a deal. I probably won't eat anything anyway. Oh, why not? This is a food tour. That's the entire point of this. I said, well, I actually got food poisoning last night. I'm okay right now, but I just don't like the idea of eating right now. And they were like, why didn't you call us? We're so sorry. We would have fixed this for you. We can reschedule. And I was like, it literally says you cannot reschedule online.
And it says several times before you finish checkout, non-refundable, no rescheduling, final transaction, all those things. And we're like, I guess that's our lesson that we learned today. We're always learning new things.
I know, and the whole reason I didn't call is because it was made very clear, even in the email we got, the confirmation email said no rescheduling whatsoever. So that's why it didn't even occur to me to call, because it was made so clear that couldn't happen. And they said, we are so sorry. We want you to enjoy this tour, and we don't want you to pay for food you're not even going to eat. That's not right. So I was very grateful because I probably wouldn't have eaten anything on this tour. I would have just seen all the great food and just sat there not enjoying it. And so they did allow us to reschedule the tour. We did not do that today. And while I was talking to them, Robert was over taking pictures of the Mickey's 90th birthday celebration over there.
Yeah, for whatever reason, we have seen Mickey's little birthday celebration area here in the Town Square Theater several times, but we've never actually taken pictures. I thought, you know what, we should take pictures of this and share it. They have stickers, they have a little card, there's all these fun little things there. It's something worth sharing about. So I was taking pictures of that so we could post it another day.
So he didn't even know that this was all rescheduled at this point. I actually had to go tell him about all this. And through all of that, I decided to just go ahead and head back to the resort myself. And he was going to stay in the park and take pictures because he did bring his camera bag. He wanted to spend the day taking pictures after the tour. So this was a perfect opportunity for him to enjoy the park, take those pictures he wants. I'm going to go just sleep for the rest of the day.
And I will say, taking pictures around Magic Kingdom by yourself is a ton of fun. I really enjoy it. But it's more fun when you have someone with you, whether it's a friend or a family member or whoever, just someone there while you're taking the pictures. It's just more fun to be together in the parks. So I messaged a friend of ours who was a cast member who I knew was planning to come to the park that day and said, hey, are you coming early? Are you coming this afternoon? He's like, no, I'll be there in just a few minutes. So we met up, and he loves photography. I love photography. We both started taking pictures around the park and just exploring all over the place. We started up on Main Street by the train and took pictures of the train, which was awesome because you could go up there and see it at that time. Then we went down to Main Street and the trolley show was going on with the dancers right down the middle of Main Street. And so we were taking pictures of them dancing around. I love that show. It just never gets old to me. I love the music and just seeing them dancing around.
They're so happy.
It just brightens your morning and makes you ready to take on the day at Magic Kingdom. So we decided to head into the park and just kind of work our way around the lands, starting in Tomorrowland with Carousel of Progress. And I'm taking a few pictures with my lens ball that I've used earlier in the year for some fireworks and stuff. It's one of my favorite accessories when I'm out taking pictures, but I'm also using another lens that I love, and that is my Lens Baby. It's a brand of lens. They make all kinds of different lenses. This particular one has a tilt shift type lens. It's really unique. It's very difficult to use if you're not used to manual focus on your lenses. It's a little tricky, but it's a lot of fun and makes some really unique pictures because the focus is just in one little spot and it's not on the rest of the picture. Very different from what you normally see coming out of a camera. So we went into Fantasyland and took pictures there at Dumbo and kind of were thirsty and not really hungry yet. So we stopped at Gaston's Tavern to get a LeFou's brew and sat there and had that. And of course, the whole time I'm texting Alyssa to see like how she's doing, and she's not answering because she's sleeping. So that's fine.
I slept all day.
As long as I know that she's still sleeping, then it's good. I just figured I'd check in and make sure. I'm sending her like pictures and videos of boomerangs and stuff just because if she wakes up, maybe she'll want to see the stuff I've been doing in Magic Kingdom. Who knows? So we left Gaston's Tavern and headed over towards Frontierland, which was kind of our original goal anyway, was to get over to Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain and Tom Sawyer Island. So we got there, took some pictures of the two mountains, and then got on a raft over to Tom Sawyer Island. I've not been over there in forever at this point. It's probably been years since I've been to Tom Sawyer Island. Really excited to go and take some pictures on the island, but also take some pictures from the island facing out towards kind of the back side of Big Thunder Mountain. A little bit of a different angle than most people have in their pictures because they're not usually on the island when they're taking pictures. So we went over there and took some of those photos and then left Tom Sawyer Island to go get some food. They didn't have the quick service there on the island open at Aunt Polly's, so we decided to go to Tortuga Tavern over by Pirates of the Caribbean because at Tortuga Tavern they had a special Mickey's 90th birthday celebration treat that we both wanted to try, even though we're kind of not sure how it's going to go. It was a giant Mickey pretzel, like the big soft pretzels they normally have, shaped like Mickey, but they dipped it in marshmallow fluff and put confetti sprinkles on top.
Ugh, that just does not sound good to me.
I mean, I love marshmallow fluff, so I was kind of excited about it, but I've never had it on a pretzel, so I'm kind of thinking it's going to be really sweet and then salty from like the salt on top of the pretzel. It's going to be a nice offsetting combination there. But when I got it and ate it, it didn't really have any salt on the pretzel. So it was really just sweet, like a big marshmallow, sticky, sweet piece of bread, which wasn't at all what I was expecting, at least.
So you're saying you were a little salty about it?
That was bad.
Pretty proud of that.
That was terrible. But it's okay. It's not all I got. I didn't rely on just a pretzel for lunch. She wasn't there to make sure I got real food, but I did it myself. I was a grown-up.
I was happy you had someone to share that with because I couldn't have eaten it anyway, and I didn't want it.
I don't think he was happy.
You had someone to share it with.
I don't think he was happy about it because it wasn't very good. But that's okay. I got the hot dog because I wanted to have some real food, and it was a hot dog with short rib on top, which basically a McRib on a hot dog bun with a hot dog and also some coleslaw on top. It was unique. I've never thought about combining those things. The flavors were actually really good because you had the barbecue and the slaw and the hot dog. It was good flavor. It was just a weird texture because you've got the hot dog texture and like the McRib type meat texture. Really strange.
I mean,
but
it sounds good.
It had great taste. That was all I cared about, especially getting away from that super sticky sweet pretzel because I just needed something that wasn't
salty.
It just was so sweet and so sticky. I just couldn't. So we left from Tortuga Tavern after eating and decided to go to one more spot for pictures. We headed up to Main Street to camp out and get a spot for the Festival of Fantasy Parade. One of my favorite things to photograph. It's just so much fun and you always have something new to take pictures of depending on where you're standing and which float comes by and the angle you have and the weather and just it all just works out. So we got a spot there on Main Street right near the hub taking pictures and I had so much fun taking pictures of this parade. There were so many good pictures that came out of it. I was super happy with how it turned out.
They were beautiful and he did get back to the resort pretty late that afternoon and I got to enjoy all 350 pictures as he showed them all to me and told me all about the day that he had. It was so fun and wonderful. I'm so glad you guys don't have to see all of those. You just get to see the nice ones. But
They-
it was actually really cool because I had never been to Tom Sawyer's Island. So he was showing me something I had never seen before. So I did enjoy those pictures right there. Those were pretty awesome.
The ones that turned out. I mean, she's not kidding. A lot of those pictures didn't turn out. But that's the thing. When you're experimenting with stuff that's not your typical just point and shoot camera, you tend to have more that don't turn out, especially with like the tilt shift lens and with the lens ball. A lot of them you just don't quite get it and it just doesn't work. So that's okay. We have the few that worked and we just get rid of all the rest.
After he showed me all of those pictures, I got ready for the day because I did feel much better. That rest was exactly what I needed. I felt great, but I was starving. I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten all day, and so I'd just been sleeping. So now I'm super, super hungry. And the friend he was with had asked him if he had eaten at this place at Disney Springs, Blaze Pizza. He said, "You have to go. It's so good." We had never tried it before, and we're like, let's go somewhere new. This was just recommended. Why not? So we took the bus over to Disney Springs and went to Blaze Pizza. So we get to Blaze Pizza, and not having been here before, we didn't know what to expect. But you get inside, and it's basically a Subway for pizza.
That's a pretty good way to describe it. It's
like-
just like Subway, except, I mean, the food's really good and it's pizza. So, you know.
It's fresh. No, I'm just kidding. So we got up to the counter and Robert ordered a meat pizza off the menu. I wanted to pick and choose what went on mine tonight, so I got spinach, ham, and pepperoni. It was really awesome to get to watch them make it right there. You can choose if you want spices on it too. And then they threw it in the oven. It comes out a few minutes later and it is so fresh and so good.
Oh, yeah.
We were so impressed with this pizza.
It's got this thin crust, it's crispy on the edges, it has that really high temperature oven, so kind of the wood-fired brick oven style pizza. So good. I am a big fan now of Blaze Pizza, and I can tell you this, we're definitely going to be back here because it's great, and it's honestly not that bad for the price.
Yeah.
You get your own individual pizza, and we intentionally only allowed ourselves to eat half so that we have the other half for leftovers later.
Yeah, and we could not believe we had not been here before. It was so good, and I was so glad that his friend recommended this because it was a really nice light meal, especially after not feeling well. And so I filled up quickly, which was awesome. Again, we didn't eat the whole pizza, but it was a wonderful way to end the night. We did head back to our resort after this. We kept it very simple tonight, and we went to bed because we both needed some rest. We had very long days, and that's the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow.
For our Year with the Ears.